Thoughts of Darkness was released in 1992, written by David Wise with interior art by Stephen Fabian and a cover by Fred Fields. And again, it is another top-notch cover for this series, one of my favorites. For levels 12 to 15, this would be the highest level module in the RAVENLOFT campaign setting, and therefore one of the hardest. It's 60 pages long and comes with a poster-sized map. It is set in the domain of Blootspur, which was briefly touched upon in the RAVENLOFT core set. Although Thoughts of Darkness is often forgotten in the greatest hits of RAVENLOFT adventures, I've always enjoyed it. Blootspur was barely detailed in the core set, and this module is a Gazier type for the domain. It goes into full detail about the domain, its denizens, and its Dark Lord, who just happens to be one of the most powerful Dark Lords of RAVENLOFT. The story goes that the players stumble into Blootspur and help some escaped prisoners who were on a mission. See, Blootspur's surface is uninhabitable, with constant lightning storms that force the players underground. The underground caves are RAVENLOFT's version of the Underdark. Populated by Mind Flayers with a few Dro and Dugar to round out the population, but make no mistake, the Dro and Dugar are the slaves of the Mind Flayers. The Mind Flayers rule the caves beneath Blootspur. Lysa von Zarevich, that would be Strahd von Zarevich's great, I think, granddaughter, or no, niece, and she's a vampire as well, has teamed up with the Mind Flayers to create a new race of Mind Flayer vampires in her bid to dethrone Strahd. She hates him and is always trying to scheme and plot against him to take his place as Dark Lord of Barovia. This is the first appearance of Lysa, and she does show up in other RAVENLOFT products, so she is a great reoccurring villain. The prisoners that escaped were trying to stop this, so the players must team up with them and explore the Mind Flayers' underground complex and confront the Illithid god Brain, who is the Dark Lord of the domain. Think of a big giant brain who has unlimited mental powers and capabilities. That's him. Make no mistake, this adventure is hard, extremely hard. Due to the Godbrain's mental presence, the players will be severely underpowered at all times. They will face hordes of Dro, Dugar, and of course Mind Flayers, so this module will require a lot of tact from a DM to run it. Otherwise, 15th level players aren't going to be too happy when that 15th level character is killed. Believe me, I've heard it. Technically, this module takes place before the Grand Conjunction, which ripped Blootspur from the core and made it an island of terror. This is done because Blootspur's alien landscape did not mesh well with its neighboring domains that were more forest type. However, it being the highest level module in the campaign setting, players would play Roots of Evil, which details the Grand Conjunction, first because it's a lower level. But this is not too hard for a DM to manage. Unless you just separate the campaigns, then that's fine. But if you're going to play them in the same campaign, it'll just take a little tinkering from the DM. There has always been the question if the Dro and Mind Flayers belong in RAVENLOFT, since they fit so well with the Forgotten Realms campaign setting. The Dro problem would be rectified in later products like the Shadow Rift, but the Mind Flayers are still up for debate. See, in the early 80s, TSR so wanted to have H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu monster mythos to be in its setting, but they were prevented from doing so for legal reasons, so the Mind Flayers were kind of their answer to it. Now, I was never a big fan of the Mind Flayers, but I guess they're close enough, and I have no problem with them having a domain in RAVENLOFT, but I do think it was the right move to take the domain from the core and to make it an island of terror. Although the adventure itself may not be this product's strong point, and you may be like me and are not too high on the Mind Flayers or the Underdark, I still recommend Thoughts of Darkness. It's the only 15th level module in RAVENLOFT. Lysa von Zarevich makes an appearance in it, and it is the most detailed write-up on Blootspur you're going to get. And the alien-like domain is a different type of an experience for player characters. albeit a hard one, but a different one. So yes, I recommend for Thoughts of Darkness. Of all the inhospitable domains in the Ravenloft campaign world, Bluetspur is the cruelest and most gruesome. Nothing grows in the endless night, and lightning periodically falls like rain. The only place to escape those storms is inside the Mind Flayers complex under Mount Macabre, but that is the last place where any sane person would want to go. The High Master Illithid has been hatching black plots by hatching vampiric mind flayers in his laboratories. His prodigies are horribly insane, but if he can complete his plans, he will achieve a new level of dark immortality. A pair of heroes have stolen the key to his success, but they have paid a heavy price for their bravery and are in desperate need of aid unlooked for. Meanwhile, the Lord of the Realm watches over the proceedings and plays havoc with the wits of both sides, sapping strength and will with all-powerful thoughts of darkness. A party of adventurers will need all of their skills to escape this black domain without the loss of life, power, or sanity. For 4 to 6 players, levels 12 to 15.